A medieval peasant worked about 150 days a year. The rest was holidays, sleep, and doing absolutely nothing. You work over 230 days a year. You have a washing machine, a microwave, and a smartphone. So why do you feel like you never have enough time? The answer isn't about productivity apps or morning routines. It's about something that was done to time itself, about 200 years ago. Before the Industrial Revolution, time was not a resource. It was just the sky. You woke up when it got light. You stopped when it got dark. There was no such thing as being late. There was no such thing as wasting time. In fact, the English language didn't even have the phrase time management until 1959. For most of human history, nobody managed time. Time just happened. Then came the factories, and factories had a problem. A worker plowing a field could slow down, take a break, work by feel. But a factory machine runs at a fixed speed. If one worker is slow, the entire line stops. So factory owners needed everyone to arrive at the exact same moment and leave at the exact same moment. They needed to synchronize human beings, like machines. This is when clock towers started appearing in every town in England. Before that, most villages had no public clock at all. People told time by the sun, church bells, or hunger. But here's what nobody told you. Before industrial time, different towns kept different times. Bristol ran 10 minutes behind London. Leeds ran 6 minutes ahead. Nobody cared, because nobody needed to catch a train. Then came the railways, and railways broke everything. A train leaving London at 9 a.m. arrives in Bristol at what time exactly? Depends which clock you're using. Between 1841 and 1845, there were over 200 train accidents in Britain, caused partly by conflicting local times. So in 1847, the Railway Clearinghouse forced every station in Britain to adopt London time. For the first time in human history, an entire nation shared one single clock. And that clock didn't belong to you. It belonged to the railway. And before that, to the factory. But this was only the surface, because there's a layer underneath that's much darker. In the 1880s, factory owners had a new problem. Workers kept taking breaks whenever they felt like it. They'd stop to talk, rest, or just stare at the wall. This was called Saint Monday. Workers would simply not show up on Mondays. Historians estimate that in 1800, English workers observed up to 47 holidays per year. By 1850, that number had collapsed to just 4. This wasn't an accident. It was a campaign. Factory owners lobbied Parliament. They funded newspapers. They wrote pamphlets arguing that leisure was immoral. The Poor Law of 1834 deliberately made poverty so painful that any work seemed preferable to none. Idleness was rebranded as sin. Busyness was rebranded as virtue. And we never stopped believing it. Think about how you feel when you tell someone you've been busy. There's a tiny bit of pride in it, isn't there? Like busyness is proof you matter. That feeling was manufactured in a factory in the 1800s. But here's what's strange. We got the machines. We got the automation. In 1930, economist John Maynard Keynes predicted that by 2030, people would work 15 hours a week. He was completely wrong. We work more now than we did in 1970. Why? Because every hour of freed up time was immediately filled by consumption. More goods to buy meant more money needed. More money needed meant more hours worked. The trap was elegant. The more efficient we became, the more we consumed, and the more enslaved to time we got. And there's one more layer. In the 1990s, a new economy emerged. Not a factory economy, an attention economy. In a factory, they took your body's time. In the attention economy, they take your mind's time. Every notification, every scroll, every autoplay video is engineered to consume the one thing factories couldn't touch: the quiet space between your thoughts. The average person now checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. Each interruption takes an average of 23 minutes to fully recover from, according to researchers at UC Irvine. You're not bad at focusing. You're operating in an environment specifically designed to prevent it. So when you feel like you have no time, you're right. But it's not because you're lazy or disorganized. Your time was taken, first by the factory clock, then by the economy of consumption, then by the algorithm. 3 separate systems, across 200 years, all pulling in the same direction. And the most brilliant part of the trap? They convinced you it's a personal failure, that you just need a better system, a better planner, a better morning routine. The productivity industry is worth over $90 billion. It profits from you believing the problem is you. But the medieval peasant didn't have a productivity coach. He had 215 days off. You don't have a time management problem. You have a time theft problem. And the first step to getting it back isn't a new app. It's knowing who took it, and when, and why. The clock on your wall was never yours. It was built for someone else's factory. You just inherited it.